A founder of a prominent Atlanta law firm has been disbarred for abandoning his clients. Let's talk about it. Tyrone Bowman Live. Welcome to the program. According to an article written in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution by Rosie Maneth, the Georgia Supreme Court, has disbarred a founding partner of an Atlanta area law firm after he abandoned the immigration cases of 6 clients, saying he tried to shift the blame and avoid discipline. The lawyer in question, the founder, Christopher Taylor, one of 2 equity partners at Taylor Lee and Associates in Norcross, took thousands of dollars from clients but failed to work their cases or supervise junior lawyers and staff involved in handling them, the court said. At least 4 of Taylor's clients had to spend thousands more hiring new lawyers after losing their cases in which they had sought to remain in the U.S., the court added. So this is the lawyer in question. It's a photo of Christopher Taylor, a founding partner of Taylor Lee and Associates in Norcross, Georgia. And he has been disbarred by the Georgia Supreme Court. Evidently, he took their money and he did not do the job, and then he lied about it, tried to shift the blame to the junior lawyers. So let's talk about this story. Quote, Taylor's failures of diligence, competence, communication, and supervision violate some of an attorney's most consequential duties, end quote, the court wrote in a unanimous opinion Tuesday. Taylor abandoned the grievance, close quote. Taylor, who specializes in immigration cases, has been a member of the State Bar of Georgia since 2002, according to court records. That's also when his law firm was established, according to its website. Around the time he was an attorney of record or lead counsel in the 6 immigration cases at issue between 2012 and 2020, Taylor had about 10,000 open cases, the court said. Taylor's law firm partner, Jerome Lee, told the court in September that Taylor's clients were not abandoned or prejudiced. The firm has implemented new practices to better handle immigration cases, Lee and Taylor said in court filings. They did not immediately comment Tuesday on Taylor's disbarment. A representative of the state bar declined to comment. Citing Taylor's apparent lack of remorse, the state bar's disciplinary review board had recommended his disbarment, though a special master appointed to analyze his conduct suggested that he be suspended for between 6 months and a year. Taylor ultimately fought for the suspension and against disbarment after acknowledging he had violated several professional conduct rules. Ladies and gentlemen, it's vitally important to make sure your lawyer or lawyers are doing their job. Doesn't matter whether they are a private attorney, a public defender, or a court-appointed attorney. If they are supposed to be representing you, and if it's a bothersome to them concerning you, then you get yourself a competent attorney that you can talk with, communicate with, and know what's going on with your case or the case from someone in your family. Don't just blindly put everything in a lawyer's hands, no matter how intended they may be, no matter how smart they are, no matter how articulate they are. If they're not hands-on in handling that case up front, then it becomes problematic on your part. And before you know it, deadlines are missed, disbarment occurs, and not disbarment, deadlines are missed, your person can't get back into court, etc., because they didn't do their job. Somebody said probably get a pardon, close quote. Yeah, you're probably right about that, In its opinion, the court said Taylor's overall participation in the disciplinary case against him was, quote, half-hearted at best and obstructive at worst, close quote. Of course, lawyers are going to hide behind the cloak of the law. That's what they do. The court said Taylor's various defense arguments included that his client's cases were doomed to fail and that their malpractice complaints against him were improperly motivated by the new attorneys who were competitors of his. Taylor also partly blamed the immigration court in Atlanta, calling it dysfunctional. How about this, Taylor? How about you should have done your job competently from day one? And the new attorneys representing them had every right to come after you, and you know that as a lawyer. Don't play stupid here. He knew exactly what he was doing. He took their money, and he did not want to do the work. That's the bottom line. He took their money, spent it, or whatever he wanted to spend it on, and when the time came to represent them, he said, well, their cases are going to fail anyway. That doesn't matter. Swim, sink, or swim. You still were hired to represent them, so give them the professional representation in the best way that you know how to make sure that you've done everything on your part to make sure your client was represented fairly and justly. That's the bottom line. And if you can't handle it, then get out of the kitchen. Taylor's arguments largely missed the point and do not change our conclusion that disbarment is proper, the court said. That Taylor's victims were particularly vulnerable as they faced removal from America in an aggravating factor as the, quote, systemic nature of his misconduct, the court said. It said he signed up large numbers of clients, though his firm had a modest number of lawyers, and he exercised minimal, if any, oversight of how those clients' cases were handled. One of the firm's ill-advised practices, quote, close quote, that fostered Taylor's failure as an attorney was to file appeals without consulting clients. The court said it noted how deeply ironic it was that Taylor did not file an appeal in the one case at issue in which the client requested and paid for it. Wow. How about this? It's the paralegals who do all the work anyway. The lawyers just show up, read through the opinions, read the briefs, may make some modifications to certain things, come in court, argue at best, and then put everything back in the hands of the paralegals. Sounds like a true justice got served finally. Quote, sounds like true justice got served finally. I agree. He should have been disbarred. Just make sure, ladies and gentlemen, you know what's going on with your case at all times. And don't just blindly put stuff into the hands of an attorney. He'll tell you, he or she will say, you can rest well at night. There's not going to be any problems. Everything will be wonderful. Do your homework. Never surrender. Never quit.